like your group of linebackers come along?
Oh, man, I feel really good, man. I think I'm definitely appreciative because a lot of stuff that we covering in meetings, they applying it to the field. Like today, we talked about like an exact play that Kyler got, and we was like, man, if they do this again, it's gonna be a pick. And Tony went out there today and caught an interception on it. So like a lot of that makes me stay up later at night because I know the stuff that I talk about in meetings, they're gonna take it to the field. So I definitely appreciate that. We've gotten better every practice.
How's that adjustment been this spring, changing positions a little bit, and you feel a little bit more comfortable now?
Oh, yeah. I definitely feel really comfortable. This is, last year was my first full cycle of being a full-time coach, being an outside linebackers coach. Now it's just like I'm going through it saying, hey, how can I do this better? What lessons did I learn? So, yeah, it's great. I feel really good.
Off of that, what do you think you've gotten better as a coach?
Definitely, I feel like simplifying, like just, I had my drill list, and I think at the end of the season, I was putting together a drill tape, and I'm like, man, I got all these drills. I'm like, we didn't do this once throughout the season. We didn't do this once throughout the season. We didn't do this drill once throughout the season. I'm like, as much as I love this drill, I just got to let it go. I got to get rid of it. So a lot of this spring has been like really focusing on like individual techniques. So that's one thing. And I think Coach Aranda really kind of put the squeeze on me and Coach DJ this offseason to really get better at coaching pass rush. Had us meet with several coaches. Keith Millard had us, just watching things, clinicking each other. And I think that's one thing that we really improved on, is just coaching pass rush this offseason. Worried about get off, just simplifying it as much as we can. So, and I feel like it's showing up. I think TJ Franklin, what he's been doing this spring really shows that Coach DJ is just killing. I mean, we track sacks, we track all that stuff. TJ Franklin got like 20 sacks right now in spring ball, and that's like crazy. So hopefully he can keep that up.
As a coach, is it hard to cut those drills that you love so much?
Yeah, but then I think just having a coach like Coach Rand, and I've been around him most of my college coach career, it's like it's like that's ego, that's ego telling you like, oh man, I got this drill from this great coach, like I really want to hold on to it. Like if it ain't applicable, I can't apply it. Then it's like you just gotta let it go. But I think that's the hard part. It's like, man, I got this awesome drill tape, and it's like this teach tape, I really want to show this, but it's like, man, my guys, they ain't there yet, so I got to go back to simple drills, like just line up and let's just walk through the body mechanics of it, stuff like that. So.
I don't know how many coaches wear cleats during
Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all saw my mic'd up, but I wore cleats, I think the second day of practice, and they were just hurting, man. I don't know what it was, but the next day I wore them, and I was like, see this feel? I was like, that just had to happen on the day I was mic'd up, that my cleats was hurting. But yeah, I wear cleats every day. It just helped me feel like I'm moving around better on the field.
Tony said you might have gotten him in your prime, but you couldn't get him now, like in the 40 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He said you couldn't take him now.
Oh, I don't know. I'll be moving around out there with those guys.
Down the depth chart?
Maybe so. I may have to address that in meetings tomorrow. Yeah.
Kyler said your strength, or he feels like your strength is teaching. Like you've become a better teacher. Mm-hmm. You take pride in that part of it?
Oh, most definitely. Because again, just watching Coach Aranda, man, I mean, he would just, take pride in that, and like that's the thing that I feel like even when I first got around him at LSU, I think his reputation really exceeded himself as like just being a great teacher. Like, so just being around him and just seeing how he taught and led the defensive staff, just motivated me to want to, kind of go about it that same way. A lot of stuff that I do now to put together meetings or, to get those guys prepared, it was stuff that when I was his GA, I'm like, man, this stuff ain't got nothing to do with football. And now I'm like, nah, I'm doing that exact same stuff, like as far as or preparing a meeting, preparing and organizing the cut up, tips or reminders, just all that stuff I learned from him. Like, so.
Even in here, the two of them were kind of hyping each other up, and even walking out of the interviews and stuff. I guess just how much are they, working together as a group and kind of as one person improves, the other one's coming along?
Oh, definitely a lot of that, because we grade every practice, so like they got it right in front of them, right in front of their face. Like I had this many lows, this was my technique grade, this was my effort, like, so they see that every day, and it's like I don't really have to say much. Like I don't have to say like, hey, this guy's graded out better than you 2-3 days in a row. It's like it's right there, you get what I'm saying? So, it is college football, so they do know that they competing with each other. So, but I think it's all good if they pushing each other to get better, the whole room. So
what's different about the defense this year with how tough was that change for you personally, having been with Coach Roberts for so long?
I think the one thing that's different is just like, I think it's simple. It's just, we just really trying to keep it simple. Like, I give Coach Polish so much credit because, as a coach, we nerd out over coaching clinics, right? Like, we can get up there and talk about this coverage, that coverage, X, Y, Z. And, we had our Baylor coaches clinic recently, and all Coach Polish talked about was effort, tackling, like fundamentals, stuff like that. And it's like, sometimes as a coach, you like, hey man, like that stuff ain't gonna always just be like, oh, that's a great clinic talk. But he was just harping on it, like this is what we building our principles on. And I think that's just true to who he is. Like he really not he not trying to pencil whip nobody, I guess what I'm trying to say. We gonna win games by being simple, by running to the ball, by playing hard, by being great tacklers, by having great communication. And that's kind of what we building our pillars on. Like we're not trying to be like, oh, the offense put in this, we got to put in this. Oh, the offense did this, like, here we go, we got to do this. Like, nah, we really saying, like, if they got us on the play, like, let's look at where we really went wrong. We could have been a little bit better on our technique here. We could have tackled, like, look how many missed tackles we had in our scrimmage. Like, that's kind of what we emphasizing, and that's one of the biggest things I think that's different. I think, not putting in 20 calls in the first week. We really been, from football school to now, we really just been like, hey, 2 calls, oh, we was messing up, no install today. Let's really focus on the fundamentals and the technique of what we got in already. So that's the big thing that I would say.
What's been the impressive part about Kyler has grown?
Oh, Kyler, man, the biggest thing about Kyler is a football guy. Not the biggest, not the strongest, and he'll get there. Like, he will get there. Like, he never even done a football offseason. Kyler was a great baseball player in high school. So, like, I was watching him this offseason. I'm like, okay, like, he may not be as strong as some of the other jacks, but, like, he's able to make plays out there because Kyler's going to go home. He's going to watch the tape. He's going to study his playbook. So that way, his thinking is to a minimum when he's on the field. He's just playing green. And I think that's what kind of puts him in a position to have success. It's like, he not one of the guys on the field like this, just thinking a whole lot. He like, I looked at this last night, like, I'm good. I'm just ready to play football and have fun. And that's what I think put him in a position to have success. Is he a smart guy, and he going to put in the work on the front end. That way, when he get to the field, he can just kind of be like, making full speed mistakes. Like, oh yeah, coach, I know what I messed up on that play. Like, all right, cool,
How was Cayenne adjusting to his move to Jack?
Man, Cayenne got all the ability in the world. I just think with Cayenne right now, it's kind of like drinking from a fire hydrant. You know what I'm saying? He like, I'm talking about, I'm installing this, calling meetings, and every now and then he'll remind me like, hey, coach, what's a slam? And I'm like, I'm tripping. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, let me go back to the beginning. So I think when Cayenne hears it all again in the summer, he gonna be like, ain't no way this was the same stuff you was teaching during spring. But like, yeah, Cayenne, it's the same stuff. But it's just right now he's hearing a lot of this stuff for the first time. But I think Cayenne excels the best when it's like individualized drills. Like, Cayenne, go pass rush against this guy. No call, nothing. And you'll really see his ability show. Or, just the simplest drills, or even an individual, you kind of see his ability show. I just think right now it just got to slow down for him a little bit. But all the ability in the world, man, and I'm happy to have him in our room, for real.
Anybody else you're looking at there at that spot, or who are some of the young guys that are coming up?
Prince has come along really good. Prince Ugo, he's really done a good job of just, slowing things down and, really taking advantage of the opportunity to get some reps. I think Tony's doing a good job of leading the room right now. I think, Tony is a freak in the weight room, and, some of that stuff is starting to really translate on the field to where, like, the things you expect Tony to do well, be a hammer, be a brute force, like set an edge, like he's doing those things. So that's the thing I appreciate most from Tony, is like the things that you would expect for him to do well, being so big, so strong, so fast, he's starting to do those things on the field, and that's been pleasing to see.
Obviously, Bryson's hurt right now, but just how big is it to get him back, and then where can he maybe take that next step?
So Bryson Jackson actually got moved to star. So he's been.
I'm in Garmin. That's my fault.
Oh yeah, Garmin. I mean, he's got he's got all the ability in the world. Can't wait to get him back. Yeah.